it is really important that we begin to change the mindset of young people to know that your vote counts.
They don't understand that the legislative arm of government is actually a co-equal arm of government.
We have an incredible amount of potential.
Whatever it is I was doing, because of my personal DNA, it had to be of an international standard, which is what, seriously speaking, is all about. I'm not sure I can do this, but... Watch me. Well, welcome to the show. This is Seriously Speaking, and my guest today decided to start this show with him on set. I've never done that. But you do anything to him or a 71-year-old who's still as active as he is. He's a filmmaker and all of that. But he said, we must open your show with a dance because he loves music, he loves all kinds of things, and we'll get to meet him in a short while. But the reason I've invited him to this show is because I know there are some things he has to share with a lot of Nigerians who may wonder, where did this guy drop out of? We'll be back shortly. Yes, welcome back. I'm still panting from that very short dance step, especially because I have a bad knee anyway. That's an excuse for allowing a 71-year-old to outdance me on set. But I humored him because about a few months back, I got an email from this man who most of you may not know, but if you Google Ola Balogun, you see films like Black Goddess or Rumoru. I can several other very great movies coming up in that celluloid, in the days of celluloid. Now, he sent me an email some time ago talking about wanting to say goodbye to all his friends at 70. And I'm like, what the heck is that? That's morbid. But he'll tell us a little bit more about that and his love for music. Does he have any regrets at all with life and with Nigeria? So I'm happy to have you on set.
Thank you.
But you wear glasses. Where are your glasses?
I put them away. I want to look young. I want the young ladies to like me now.
That's Arubo Niba. You were born in the East, right? And was that by accident or your father was in that area?
My father chose to live in the East. It was
a Yoruba
time
man
in Nigeria.
chose to live in the East?
Yes. It's not a Yoruba man. Yoruba is a language.
Oh, wow.
It's not a people. Okay? Yeah. The people who speak that language are Ijebu, Ekiti, and so on. But my father deliberately chose to live in the East, and he chose to be buried there. He said his Arnold is living there, so they shouldn't take his body anywhere when he's dead. My mother also lived, so my mother only left Aba when Ojukwu said that all non-Easterners should leave.
That was in the 67, they were
yeah, that's right.
But and by that time you were in Paris already at that time?
No, oh yes, that was it. I was in the Ministry of Information. Then I was press officer in the Nigerian Embassy in Paris. That's about when,
the Civil War broke out.
The Civil War broke out before then. I was in the middle of the Civil War. I fought,
the
Biafran thing in Paris. But I went to the war front many times, so I knew all these people. I knew General Danjuma, the retired general, as a major in the war front, one div in Enugu. And I knew most particularly Benjamin Adekunle, who won that war for the Nigerian government. I'll say it anywhere. It's Benjamin Adekunle who won the war. Because two div on Onisha, they sat there for 3 years, they never went anywhere. One div from Makurdi to Enugu, they took 2 years. Adekunle, when he arrived in Calabar, he was already in the round, the Biafrans could not resist. He won the war.
So when you remember the war, remember Nigeria. I mean, you're in Nigeria in these times, though you hardly live here now. We'll get to that later.
Right.
And you see the times that you grew up when your father could decide to go and live in Enugu.
Yeah.
And you see what's happening now when we have things like the Niger Delta Avengers, we have the Boko Haram, we have ethnicity. I like the fact that you say you're not a Yoruba man. You know,
no,
what does that tell you? I still live in a generation where we are so divided, apparently, from what we see.
We're not divided. There are people who are operating scams. The Niger Delta people is a scam. There's a man who is being, is about to be prosecuted by the federal government who has armed those people. It's a scam.
What about the one on in the northeast?
The Boko Haram is very odd because the question one must ask, where do they get their ammunition from? Are some people not parachuting arms and weapons to them? You know, there are remnants, the original fighting soldiers, not Yusuf. The original fighting soldiers are remnants of Gaddafi's army. So we have to ask why the Westerners went to kill Gaddafi, what they were looking for in Libya, what they looked for in Iraq. Why have they unleashed all this mayhem on the whole world? And now they claim that they are innocent, people are coming as refugees to them, but they created the situation.
So you believe Nigerians are not really divided?
No, we're the same people. We're one people. Africa is one. I'm a disciple of Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah. We are one people in Africa, in Black Africa. We are one people. So it's only politicians and ne'er-do-wells who try to stir us up against each other.
But it's working, don't you think it is?
What is working?
Dividing us.
No, it's only on the surface. I would say the Niger Delta Avengers should be eradicated. They are criminals. They are not freedom fighters, because freedom fighters will be defending the interests of their land. But these people are being sponsored by certain folks.
Are you one of those, have you heard Nigerians talk about restructuring and things like that?
Of course, we have too many states. It's a stupid idea to have so many states, because each of them is gulping a huge amount of money for administrative purposes. So we need to return to the situation in which we were when there were 4 regions.
Okay, that will work better.
You look at all these governors. Many of them are idle people, riding about in cars, embezzling money. No, they have, 20 cars in their entourage and things like that. Look at the legislators gulping money for nothing. We have to go back to a more serious situation. There should not be full-time legislators. It should be a part-time business.
Tell me why you chose to dance to Sunday Wendy by, see now, my head is...
It's a great music. See, music is timeless. Music has no barriers. It has no language. When there's music, there's music. So Fela's music is being danced all over the world. Bob Marley's music is being danced all over the world. Michael Jackson has spawned disciples in Korea who have outdone him. So music has no barriers. It's only now that you have people who are not musicians who have been acclaimed in Nigeria. It's a Jegunle kind of product. It has no melody, it has no structure, nothing. It's not music. I don't know, some people who are idle, I believe, say they're giving them 40 million naira to be ambassador of I don't know what, but they're not playing music. So
you did try to do some music with Iroko, your band, that you said.
I didn't try to do some music. I've done wonderful music for 15 years.
But was it successful?
Successful in terms of music. Money is not the issue. If you're an artist, money is not the issue. Fela died destitute. That's the truth. You know, you have people like Van Gogh, never had any money, you know. So money is not what art is about. An artist is not a businessman. So whether the people
like it or
not, it's not irrelevant. I'm playing for my inspiration.
But it costs you a lot of money, though.
It doesn't matter. What is money for? Except to live a good life.
But tell me, you know, that mail I saw you write, it was like a mail that was regretful that life had come, and this was, you had very dire circumstances very recently when you lost everything that you owned.
That's right.
What did that do to you?
It reinvigorated me, gave me a new lease of life.
What happened that night?
Well, there was a fire. Some people set fire to my house. They tried to kill me. They didn't succeed. Actually, they saved my life. It's complicated to explain. But I walked out of that house. I didn't pick a pin from that house, and I started life afresh. But I had to relocate to Cotonou because I can't afford to live in Lagos.
Really?
Yes,
well, because you said, I mean, I was going to read bits of that mail, but what hit me was that when you came out, you suddenly realized that what is life worth after all?
That's true.
There were no real friends, no real...
Yes, well, they are friends. There are few friends. But you see, Nigerians of today are very greedy, very selfish, and very hypocritical. So my advice to anybody who is in financial difficulty in Nigeria, don't ask anybody to help you in Nigeria because they won't.
Did you ask people to help?
Of course.
And what happened?
Of course, some people stopped taking my phone calls because they were afraid I would ask them for money. I didn't ask them for money. I was asking them for help to get me back on my feet, which is a different matter. I needed like some equipment. I needed to replace my cameras. I needed to replace musical instruments. I didn't get anybody. But one person, that's what is the miracle of life, whom I've even till today I've never met physically. He's a friend of a close friend of mine, heard of my plight. He asked for my bank account, and he sent 300,000 naira into my account. That's the money I started life afresh with. He's a wonderful person. But of course, I had a little bit of help from my sister, from a few family friends, but that was all. I started life afresh at 70 with nothing.
Yes, at age 70. So
very interesting experience. Yes.
Yeah. So you wanted to celebrate your 71st by saying bye-bye to your friends. That's the one that got everybody worried, you know?
No. Life is something that is in continuity. You know, nature has a plan for all of us. The generations must replace each other. We're bound to go. If you came, you must go. And so it's better to say goodbye in an orderly fashion than for people to be saying goodbye to your corpse. In any case, they won't have the opportunity because I've already willed that my body should be used for anybody who needs body replacement or thing like that, and anything that's left should be used by medical students for their exercises. I don't value my body. The body is not where the essence of the human being is.
That sounds very morbid, if you ask me. But I take a break.
It's not morbid. Look.
Let me take a break. Let me take a break. I'll still call you. Let me take a break because I must shop in the market. Right. And then I'll come back and continue this conversation.
Okay.
So if you don't go away, we'll be back with Dr. Ola Balogun.
I'm not a doctor.
I call you a doctor.
I don't
Your
care.
PhD didn't
I wrote a PhD 45 years ago. It's relevant now.